welcome everybody to another live episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. You know, you can be a million places around in the world right now, so we can't thank you enough for being here with us live. Joined as always by my co-host Aaron Orlando, Aaron Turner with his ring light. It's good to see your face, bud. How are you doing?
Give me the ring light. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I mean, it looks different there. Oh, I turned it off. Wait, I turned it on.
Oh no,
so it's way different. Yeah. Last week had a bunch of technical difficulties, but this week,
yes,
feeling good. I don't know if you know this, John, but
yeah.
Did you know that gut health and mental health are intertwined?
Are you doing a promotion right now that I didn't know?
No, this isn't sponsored. I'm just saying, I've been doing a lot of research because I need to get healthy because I'm tremendously overweight. But
stop.
I've been doing a lot of research on gut health because my gut health has not been great.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it, and I found out that if your gut health is good, if you are eating right, if you are taking the right supplements, then your mental health is so much better, and they're intertwined. And I never knew that, and it blew my mind when I read that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, having a very good morning constitutions, bowel movements, all part of your gut health allows you to feel relaxed during the day. It doesn't make you feel agitated or frustrated or anxious. Absolutely, it all helps. Absolutely, so it's important. And this has been brought to you by I don't know what, but certainly I
your
agree
weekly PSA.
Right. And so it is important to take care of your physical body. Because it's all connected, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what anyone tries to tell you, I'm happy where I'm at. No, the truth is that if things are affecting you, if you're feeling lethargic, if you're feeling trouble doing stuff, it does affect you overall mentally. So it's important to be aware of that. So I'm glad you bring that up, my man. Anyway, but that's not what we're here.
Hello.
But that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about the latest in pro wrestling. Certainly a little bit of a slow news week, but there were some really good, interesting stories for us to talk about this week here on the show. So please sit back, relax, enjoy yourself as we do that. And please send in your Streamlabs and super chats if you want us to answer any questions at all. Streamlabs right above Aaron's head or in the description of this video as well. So click on that address. I'll also be pinning it to this chat here. So if you're looking to send us something, you just scroll right on up to the top to that first comment. It is pinned there for you all to send us any of your questions or any of your comments through Streamlabs, or you can send them still through Super Chat. We'll be checking them throughout the show. Aaron, are we ready to get into it?
Real quick thing also.
Yes.
Sunday is my birthday. So if you want to send in those Streamlabs and Super Chats, a little birthday swag, appreciate you.
Yeah, I will absolutely make sure those get to Aaron. So yeah, definitely send some stuff in. And if you want to celebrate Aaron's birthday, didn't know his birthday, you son of a bitch. I would have sent you something. God damn it. All right.
That's okay. There's still time.
Yeah, not for shipping, but yeah. Maybe.
Oh, fuck. No. Definitely not the USPS. Oh,
It's right. It's right. All right. Let's get into it. What's our first news item here, Aaron?
A somber / little bit of a shocking note this week as WWE World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre has tested positive for COVID-19 and is currently in isolation and will be isolating for 14 days. That will actually lead right up to the Royal Rumble, which is slated for January 31st, where Drew McIntyre is still scheduled to face Goldberg for the WWE Championship. This comes as a real surprise because McIntyre has been a guy that has been there the whole time during this quarantine, and he had a message during Raw. Let me read this real quick.
Okay.
He said, "I'm one of the fortunate ones with no symptoms, but I assure you that COVID should not be taken lightly. Don't think you can't catch it, because you can. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And the only way we are going to be able to stop this thing is by working together. So please, wear your mask, follow social distancing guidelines. It's not to protect just you, but to protect everyone else and their loved ones. I'll see you all really, really soon. But until then, stay safe." Now, this is the first real WWE response to COVID. They've had people test positive that we know about, and probably a lot that we don't know about.
Right.
But this is the first time that it's really affected a top superstar. I mean, your world heavyweight champion. So what do you think of his response, and what do you think the protocol should be going forward?
Well, I mean, Aaron, you look at this situation, you ask yourself, well, look, when it first started, a lot of people were concerned about the fact that Vince kept going. He kept doing the Raws. He kept doing the SmackDowns. NXT was having people at these arenas as well. I don't mean people like fans, but people that were wrestlers at these arenas. They were supposedly being tested, and then they were getting in the ring with these people and exchanging, sweat and bodily fluids that are coming out as you're wrestling, things you can't avoid when you're in that close contact and you're heaving and you're doing sports or whatever. And so it was always a concern that some of these top people were going to get it. There is no connection at this point. It's been established that McIntyre got it from someone during a match, from what I understand, but his message still carries weight as a guy who's carrying the belt. And as we've said numerous times on the show, we'd be remiss not to say this is very much a red state sport, and it has been in the red states or red areas where they have taken less precaution, as you saw in Alabama after they won the title, less precaution in practicing social distancing and wearing masks, and they make fun of it all until they get it because people think they're invincible. Humans naturally have this invincible feeling about themselves, and then when they get it, it knocks you down, and it knocks you down for the count. My sister is just on her way back recovering from it. She had it for the last 10 days. And I tell you something, I was extremely scared that I would lose my sister to this thing. And she got it because she went to a place with some family members who weren't wearing masks, and they passed it on to her. And they are red state people, and they passed it on to her. And I was very, very mad about that. But, that's family. It's neither here nor there. But, it's just that kind of thing. So I appreciate that Drew McIntyre didn't just stay quiet about it. I wonder if he got this approved by the WWE before he said anything. But the fact that he did say something, I think, is a positive thing overall for sure. I think everyone now sees this is out of control. This is spreading everywhere. We all need to do our due diligence.
And it feels like you kind of can't escape it. Like, I don't mean to put it in that grim of terms,
right?
But everywhere you go, I feel like you just can't escape it. Like, you can mask up, you can, wash your hands, you can social distance, you can do all that stuff, and you still get it.
Yeah.
It's crazy what this thing can do. And it just keeps going and going and going. I mean, we're over a year essentially battling this thing, still going stronger than ever. Right. Which is very bad.
Yeah. I think so. Kind of 4,000 people the other day in one day. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're good. It's just, it's scary. And to see a top guy like Drew McIntyre get this, and we're looking forward to head to Royal Rumble where they're going to have no fans. There's no fans going to be at the Royal Rumble, which is going to be weird because it is the Royal Rumble and it's so exciting and very fan friendly. Mm-hmm. And then we're not far from WrestleMania season. That's going to be in April. Yeah. So where are we going to be at in April? What's going to be the protocol there? I mean, I know that the Super Bowl is having, I believe, first responder families and families of the players that'll be there. So that's going to be interesting. That'll be your litmus test for WrestleMania, sadly. And it's just you kind of wonder, okay, if Drew McIntyre gets it, then who else? It's kind of surprised me that he got it and then they didn't shut down. A little bit or something, for a week. What the hell's going on? Where did he get it from? We got to shut this all down. Interesting tidbit this week. This has sort of something to do with it. So I got an email this week from NXT to be in the crowd for their show on the 20th. Yeah. And I'd been wondering how they pick people for those shows. I guess because I'd bought tickets before, they just, whatever, they had my email address. Right. But it says in that email that you have to go through a COVID test. You have to do a rapid COVID test and you have to be negative and you have to do it that day or you can't come in the building. I mean, obviously, and it has to be negative and all this other kind of stuff. But the protocols are in place. So I'm kind of wondering where the snag was. Did he get it from a family member? Did he get it from somebody in the back? Who knows? It's just so, if the policy is as stringent as, it was presented to me as, I just don't know how. I'm not saying that he was doing something bad, but I'm just saying, you really can't escape this thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a fair point. You wonder where he could have picked it up, where he would have gotten it, who would have been involved in the situation to give it to him, and what would have been the how can I say this? What would have been the cause of it, and was he made aware of it? And the thing is, if you're a fellow wrestler in the Royal Rumble, Aaron, how do you know? How do you not know? I just wonder about this now because don't you think this puts the Royal Rumble now in jeopardy? I mean, what's it, 30 men and 30 women in the ring? who was around Drew McIntyre all this time? Like, there's bound to be somebody who's been around Drew McIntyre before this Royal Rumble. Are they going to quarantine? Are they not going to quarantine? How do you know he's going to be fully past it before the Royal Rumble hits? So, and we're already seeing, sorry, Aaron, real quick, we're already seeing how the after effects of COVID are affecting these high level athletes in football, college football, in basketball, in baseball. How do we know Drew McIntyre is going to be saying to everyone, I'm fine, walks in there and, like, God forbid, has something terrible happen to him because his body fails on him as a result of recovering from COVID.
Yeah, it's a good point that you bring up. I mean, I would like to say that he'd be all in the all clear because he'd be at about 3 weeks once we got to the Royal Rumble, since if we're assuming that he got diagnosed on Sunday, which is when the story really broke.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a Kyrie Irving situation. If you're not aware of what that situation is,
right.
Good Lord, what a can of worms that was.
Yep.
I just think it's one of those things that we're going to see more of, and as it unfortunately affects the top level guys, then it's going to come out more and more. I mean, Roman Reigns was a guy that said, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to miss WrestleMania because I don't want to deal with the COVID. And it surprised me that he came back so soon after that.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Like, I would like to think that with all the vaccines that are rolling out, and we got a new president coming. I know we're not politicking here, but I mean, we're hoping that the vaccine stuff gets ramped up and we can just get by this thing. I know everybody is sick and tired of it. Believe me, everybody is sick and tired of this thing. Yeah. So just, God, let's get it over with.
I agree with you. The other part of this too, Aaron, that we have to think about is, a number of nurses have come out and doctors have come out and said, you can't get the vaccine after you get it already. Like, if you're still in the throes of having COVID, you can't get the vaccine. It's not until after you're out of the COVID situation that you can get the vaccine, so that they can stop you from getting it again. So yeah, that's my concern. But maybe this works out in some way. And I hate to break this to you, Aaron, but this could be Goldberg winning the belt, because if he's going to face McIntyre, we know Goldberg does short matches. This could be a way of kind of not keeping McIntyre in the ring too long. Goldberg gets that spear, maybe 2 or 3 spears. McIntyre takes the pin, and Goldberg walks out with the belt, and you haven't exposed too many people to the COVID situation, and you haven't exposed McIntyre to a long, drawn-out match. Not that there was going to be one against Goldberg, but you don't take that risk that something could happen to his heart, something could happen to his organs or his body in recovery still from the COVID, and cost him some serious physical damage that you'd be on the hook for, I think, as the WWE in a lawsuit. So those are the things you have to be concerned about as well.
And Goldberg is not a spring chicken either.
No, true.
So the fact that Drew McIntyre has this right now, and you're going up against the guy that's in his 50s, is concerning.
Yeah.
So that's got to be something. I don't know how Goldberg feels about it. I'd love to hear his opinion on the whole thing.
For sure.
Surprisingly enough, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I don't think that Goldberg's going to win. I think he's going to go for a spear, and he's going to get his head kicked off by Claymore. And that's how it's going to end, because I think they want to run with Drew McIntyre as long as he's okay. I mean, of course, safety number one. But yeah, it's an interesting story, and we'll just have to keep our eye on it as it develops.
Absolutely agree with you. Yeah, we'll see. We got a Grimash sent us something. He said, "Happy anniversary, John. Happy birthday, Aaron." Right? Yeah. The channel just officially crossed earlier this week 1 year of being in existence. So thank you so much. It's very kind of you, Grimash, to send that. But also happy birthday to Aaron, whose birthday is coming up this Sunday. For those of you who joined us a little bit later, Aaron's birthday is this Sunday. So send in some Streamlabs, send in some super chats to send him off to have a really fun birthday this weekend, and show him some appreciation for being the co-host on this show consistently every week. Regardless of technical difficulties. So it's a good thing.
I'll be watching football on my birthday. So
hell yeah, me too.
Big weekend, baby.
Justin Toner sent us here, said, "Hey, John and Aaron, first happy birthday to Aaron." And then he said, "I love Drew McIntyre, and I'm glad he's not showing symptoms and will be back in the ring soon. What are your thoughts on what Roman Reigns did on SmackDown last week to Adam Pearce?" Thoughts on that, Aaron?
Well, it's an interesting thing that's going on with Adam Pearce, because, this guy hasn't wrestled in so long. He was the NWA World Champion for a long time, Ring of Honor guy. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about Adam Pearce. I just know that he had some great matches with Daniel Bryan that my friend Shane gave me clips of because I said I don't know Adam Pearce, and he quickly educated me. I think what they're trying to do with Roman. See, I figured it would be Roman and Shinsuke at the Rumble, and not Roman and Adam Pearce. So it's kind of a weird situation. It's like an authority thing, an authority angle where Adam Pearce has kind of been like essentially the GM of Raw and SmackDown, and Roman's kind of bucking the system. So Roman kind of forced his way to have Adam Pearce and himself in a match. So it's either going to go one of two ways. Like Adam Pearce is going to get some stuff in and Roman's going to make him look stupid, or Roman's just going to make him look stupid and it's going to end really quickly. So it's a cool idea to bridge you to Royal Rumble, but I don't think it has any long-term ability as a storyline.
Okay. All right. John, and I agree with you. I think so too. I think he's there to kind of showcase who he is, get some moves on Roman, and in the end, it's not going to be enough to beat Roman, but certainly be enough to get people intrigued by this kid. And like you said, a lot of people don't know him. So this is a way to get people to know him for sure. John Doe says, do you think it's smart that that the WWE should do a Royal Rumble where you have multiple people in a 20-by-20 ring, especially when this company has had multiple outbreaks? Yeah, Aaron, thoughts?
That really is the question, isn't it? Like, should we be doing a 30-person Royal Rumble? The good thing is they're not all in the ring at the same time. So you don't have 30 people at the same time in the ring.
Yeah.
But you still have fluids, you still have sweat on the ropes, I know it's a weird thing to say, but you still have stuff on the ropes. Somebody could bleed, like it could get really hairy in there. I gotta think that WWE is having some sort of protocol in place for the Royal Rumble. Like, listen, guys, we can only have 6 in the ring at one time, or 5, or whatever, and we're just going to try to get through this. They're not going to cancel it. I think that's pretty obvious. They just kind of have to do what you can only do what you can in this situation.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think so too. I think, look, you're not going to stop Vince. Vince has been having live matches all through COVID. He's just a guy who's determined to make this happen. These wrestlers need their money to pay bills. They're one of the fortunate people. They're some of the fortunate people who are still working through COVID and making their money and being able to pay their bills and their rent and what have you. So you're not going to stop them going into the ring. You're not going to stop Vince going into the ring. So that's the situation there, 1,000%. So, no surprise at all. But I think this is a great point by Manny Gonzalez. No, but you should have some eliminations rather quickly. Yeah. That's actually not, and that totally fits the Royal Rumble aspect of things, because you do get thrown out of the ring pretty quickly sometimes in the Royal Rumble. So this makes even more sense for sure. So, all right, perfect. All right, let me see if there's any more Streamlabs or super chats. No, so keep sending them in as we go along the show. I've also pinned it to the top of the chat, so if you want to go and send something in, just go and hit that address and send some birthday love towards Aaron or some love to the show as well. All right, what's next, Aaron?
All right, so this kind of follows the Drew McIntyre story. So Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre were supposed to have a match on Monday Night Raw. It didn't exactly work out that way, obviously, because of the COVID diagnosis. So out comes Triple H, and he is interrupted by Randy Orton, and then they get into it, and it's announced that it'll be Triple H versus Randy Orton later on in Raw. I was pretty excited for that because Triple H hasn't wrestled a match in like 4 or 5 years, right? And he definitely hasn't wrestled a match on Raw in a long time. Mm-hmm. So I was really excited to see that. But unfortunately, we didn't even get there because Triple H went to pull a sledgehammer out from under the ring, and it got set on fire. And then the lights went out, and then all of a sudden, instead of the Fiend, we got little Miss Bliss, who decided that she would be a little fire starter, if you like the Prodigy song, and threw a fireball right in the face of Randy Orton. So this storyline with the Fiend and Randy Orton is continuing, the whole fire thing, because of course, if you remember way back, Randy Orton set fire to the house of Sister Abigail, and then set Sister Abigail on fire, and then set the Fiend on fire. So we're wondering when the Fiend is going to show back up. Obviously, this will be a Royal Rumble thing. I mean, we hope. And I wonder if the Fiend will have a different look. Is he going to look all charred and like burn up and stuff? Because that would be badass.
That's a good question.
And what do you really do with Alexa Bliss in this situation? Because she's just kind of hanging on the side. She's not wrestling anybody. She's not really doing anything. So do you like her role still in this? And are you still kind of intrigued by this Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton storyline?
Yeah, I mean, I still think it has legs. But that being said, I agree with you. Like, what is Alexa Bliss supposed to do here? You know, she'll keep doing that. This is some of the best stuff she's done in a while. And I was hesitant because I was like, why do you want to attach the Fiend to her? She's doing just fine. But this has really worked out for her. She's probably reinvigorated by it all. She enjoys it. It's a good storyline, and it moves her out of the Nikki Cross stuff, which I thought had kind of run its course. And so that fireball was so fast, and Randy's reaction is so great. And by the way, let me circle back to the Alexa Bliss thing in just a second. Triple H looks fantastic, dude. He's in his 50s, and that man still looks like he could go in a 30-minute match or whatever. He looks really, really good. You juxtapose that to like Flair in his 50s or Hogan in his 50s, where you saw them lose a step a little bit. Triple H still looks like he can go. I mean, the wrapped up fists really help, but all of it just I like the way him and Randy went at it. But this Alexa Bliss stuff I'm enjoying, but we're hitting that point, I think, as well, Aaron. We're hitting that point, like, where is this all leading to? And after this Randy Orton thing happens, where does Alexa go from here? Because she's got to wrestle somebody at some point. And are they going to move her now into the picture for the women's belts again? Are they going to do that with her as Little Miss Bliss? Or is something going to happen to break the spell and she's going to go back to being a face and then going towards getting belts? I don't know, but I think we're hitting critical mass with this storyline. What about you? Do you think there's still more time to play?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we have a little bit more meat on the bone here. I think if Alexa Bliss can either win the Royal Rumble or get a first or number one contender shot against Asuka, I think that's an intriguing matchup because you have Asuka, who's been pretty much forgotten, dare I say, during her title run. She's been the champion for almost a year. Well, no, I'm sorry, about 9 months, I should say, and she's really had no good matches. She had a minor feud with Sasha Banks that kind of went nowhere. And let's give her a big money feud. Let's give her something with Alexa Bliss to do. And maybe Alexa takes the title from her. Asuka's kind of crazy with the whole face paint and the dancing and the weird stuff that she does. And Alexa Bliss can be 10 times as weird with all the Fiend stuff. So it makes for a decent matchup. And I would like to see Alexa as the champion again. Maybe she and the Fiend can both be champions at the same time. That would be something different. And, they can go off into the sunset together. But like you said, it is hitting critical mass for me as well. I'm going to give it a little bit longer before I start crapping on it, but it's coming soon.
Yeah, you sense that too, definitely. All right, let me see if we've got any Streamlabs. We got Hill Nellums. Thank you, Hill. Always good to see you, my man. Oh, what a very kind donation. Thank you, Hill. He said, happy birthday, Aaron. Happy anniversary, John. Been doing my yearly rewatch of past Rumbles. What are some of your favorite Royal Rumble spots or appearances? Axe and Smash starting off 89, Ric Flair in 1992, Cena's early return in the 2008 Rumble, and all of Kofi's spots, for me to name a few. Yeah, Aaron, do you have some awesome Royal Rumble spots, moments that you love?
He'll pretty much nailed them all. I mean, I love the Kofi Kingston stuff. I like that John Morrison is back now, so we can see John Morrison do the crazy stuff because he does the parkour. Yeah. I don't like that Naomi kind of ripped that off and now she does the Kofi stuff. I don't like that. My favorite spot in a Royal Rumble ever is I can't even remember what year it was from. I think it was 2016. I was there. It was AJ Styles' debut. Came out at number 3. But it was awesome. What a crowd. But out comes R-Truth. And R-Truth is sprinting to the ring. It's the Royal Rumble match. It's hectic. Kane is in there. Big Show's in there. Like, the heavy hitters are in there. So here comes R-Truth, and he goes underneath the ring and gets a ladder. And everybody's cheering because they're like, oh, yeah, weapons. All right, he's going to use the ladder as a weapon. Hell no. R-Truth puts it in the middle of the ring, climbs up the ladder, and looks up. And he's like, ah. And then you hear Jerry Lawler on the or Jerry, I think it's JBL maybe on the commentary says, this isn't a ladder match, Truth. And then he realizes it's not a ladder match, and then Kane immediately throws him out. Just the sheer comedy of R-Truth in that match was amazing. AJ Styles debuting at the Royal Rumble, super loud. Of course, Edge's return from 2020. Ric Flair, like you said, Hulk Hogan winning 2 Royal Rumbles. I actually like the first Royal Rumble that they televised with Hacksaw Jim Duggan eliminating the one-man gang because I didn't think he was going to win. So I like that moment as well. And a special place in my heart, this is not a Royal Rumble. It was a WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal. My best friend's uncle, Bill Fralick, Pittsburgh
wow.
Pittsburgh Panther Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Was in the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal and was eliminated by Big John Studd. So that's just a special memory there for me. But yeah, those are probably some of my favorites.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of those, and certainly the ones Hill brought up for sure. I like, how can you ignore Edge coming back? What a great pop that was. Diesel coming back, which was such a shock, the cock in the fist and everything like that. We just watched that Royal Rumble with a hockey talk man coming out of the situation. And I remember Becky Lynch when she came out after, was it Lana or was it Carmella had gotten her?
You're right, Lana.
Yeah, Lana, and then she tells Fit Finlay, "You're gonna put me in that match. You're gonna put me in that match. Irishman to Irish woman, you're gonna put me in that match." And so she got in there and wrestled what she did. I did like what Lesnar did. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I liked what Lesnar did, throwing people out of the ring. I dug that until he got the Claymore. So those are some of the most recent ones. But I mean, to me, the standard people coming in is fun. It's when the surprises happen, when the old wrestlers come back, when wrestlers you don't expect to come out, or wrestlers like AJ Styles come out, and you're like, is this for one night? Has he signed to WWE? Those are those kinds of things that you thoroughly enjoy in the Royal Rumble. That's why it's one of the most enjoyable matches to watch, because if WWE schedules it right and programs it right, by that I mean the wrestlers that are coming in the time that they come out, it is thoroughly one of the most enjoyable things you can see. Because look, we know everything is talked out ahead of time, right? The results are all fit, but who's going to show up when? For us who are watching, it's a huge surprise, and that adds another element to it as well. So yeah, those are the things that I love. And what was the female wrestler who did it a couple of years ago, or was it last year, who did the Kofi thing herself from NXT? I forget her name. The one with the long brown hair, and she had the red and silver tights, and she came off. She had been
Casey Catanzaro.
Yeah, Casey Catanzaro. When she did it, that was, I mean, the core strength of the legs around the pole down and then lifting herself casually up. I was shocked at that kind of core strength. So I enjoyed her doing it as well. So those are fun moments for sure.
Yeah, she won American Ninja Warrior, so that makes sense.
That's right. She did. Let's see here. And thanks so much, Hill, again, for that very kind donation. Zachary Taylor says, Stone Cold in 1997, the epicness of 1992. And I love all of the women's Royal Rumbles. Yeah, Zachary. I didn't put it up there. Sorry, Zachary. Yeah, I would have thoroughly agree with you. I've enjoyed the women's Royal Rumbles as well. I think, wasn't Trish Beth Phoenix. When Beth Phoenix came into that Royal Rumble, that was badass as well.
Got her head busted open. Yeah,
that's how you do
it. All the women's Rumbles have been pretty good. Like, I can't think of a bad one. Like, going back and watching any Royal Rumble really is pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, except for that one they did that was 40 people, that's too many.
Yeah, it's too many.
The one that Alberto Del Rio won, way too many people.
Yeah, you hit that wall where you're like, okay, let's end this already. It becomes too much. You're right. All right, my man, where are we on to next?
Now we're on to a story. I don't like to speculate, but this is a story that's kind of hot right now. And Ricochet, Paducah, Kentucky, so on the high flyer, the guy, the darling of the Indies at the time, came into the WWE, took it by storm, took NXT by storm, won the North American title, won the U.S. title for one night. He may be on his way out. Allegedly, Ricochet's contract expires this month, and we've seen him do a lot of job work on the Monday Night Raw when he's feuding with Mustafa Ali. Hasn't had a pay-per-view match since Royal Rumble 2020. Of course, that was about a year ago. He has allegedly not signed a new contract. Has done nothing but lose on Raw, hasn't got a win on there in a long time. But Ricochet did refute the rumors on Twitter when someone brought it up and said, what is Ricochet's future? He said, this is fake. So I kind of wonder where Ricochet is following. Like, what's his mindset right now? Because he's not exactly getting the best spots on television. Of course, as we said, he keeps losing. He was on WWE Main Event a lot, which not a lot of people watch. His last big feud was with Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel, which was, I think, in March of last year. So Ricochet hasn't really had much to do, considering how hot that he came in. I'm very surprised by this. Yeah. But it wouldn't surprise me if he left.
Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't surprise me either. And maybe he's pushing back on these rumors because it kind of hurts him in a negotiation process. You know what I'm saying? Either with WWE or another federation. If they know you want to leave, they're going to offer you less money because you already want to go. You know what I'm saying? And so if it's more that you want to stay and they really want you, they'll offer you more money. That's how it usually works. He did tweet that. You said about the rumors going around, but it's fake. But seriously, where the hell did these rumors start? I've never said once that I am leaving to anyone. So for these quote unquote dirt sheets out there, maybe fact check before you just blast some trash on your website for some clicks. But Aaron, we've seen this all the time where wrestlers go, bullshit, I never said anything, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, yeah, I did say something, but I was working a contract or working something out, or we were negotiating, blah, blah, blah. So the louder the defense or the louder the anger, most of the time I go, there's real fire here, or else you wouldn't have responded so angrily. And maybe Ricochet is frustrated, and I would be frustrated because people loved Ricochet coming into the WWE. He was incredible down NXT and then back up into the main roster, what he's able to do there, but they kind of fumbled the ball. Once again, a black wrestler that they fumbled the ball with. There's no reason he couldn't walk the same path that AJ Styles walked. Ricochet is an incredible wrestler. How are you not booking him with some of these, these people that are up there fighting now at the top of your roster? I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. And booking him to lose, how does that help Ricochet at all for him to constantly keep losing? I don't think this is a Becky Lynch situation where it was like frustrating for the fans. I think this is you're essentially, I know Ryan Satin hates when I use this word, but you're essentially burying him by putting him on main event and then having him lose on main event or on Monday nights. It does nothing for his character. It does nothing for his status in the business. So it makes no sense to me.
I think I have a theory of why he's not exactly working out right now, or they don't have a main event spot for him. It's got to be the pandemic, because think about this: like Ricochet's moveset and what he does in the ring is so electric for a live crowd. Now, when you have the Thunderdome and they have all like the people on the video monitors, they're pumping in sound. The sound that you hear is not the people on the video monitors. That is pumped in sound. So when you have somebody like Ricochet that does all these fantastic moves and is flying all over the place and people can cheer and ooh and ah, and you don't have that, it kind of makes it feel a little weird. Like, why would we push this guy if he's not going to get any response? You know what I mean? Like, that's my only theory on this. Like, Jeff Hardy can do it because Jeff Hardy is a veteran, is a legend, is a long-term guy, and people want to see him no matter what. But I think with a guy like Ricochet, the mystique is gone a little bit when you don't have a live crowd there backing him up.
That's a good point. Maybe that's what it is. But yes and no. But I mean, Shinsuke's done his thing. Sasha and Bailey have done their thing. I think it comes back to what someone put in the comment here. I'm sorry, I can't find it right now. That he's not good on the mic. And if you're not good on the mic and you can't find a way to take advantage of the COVID situation, then I guess the WWE is going to bury you for a little while on main event. And that's a shame for someone as incredibly talented as Ricochet. And if I was him, I would fucking leave. I don't want to be losing on main event or losing on Monday nights. No one's going to, my merchandise sales are going to go down into the toilet if I keep losing. That makes no sense. So if I was him, I'd be looking at AEW, a place that could really highlight his skills and really focus on him. I'd be looking at, no, I don't think I'd look past AEW, to be honest. I think that's the only place I would look at that would pay me what I'd like to get paid and be in the position that I want to get it to be in right now. And look, if the WWE hears you want to go, they're not going to sit here, especially if they've been burying you. They're gonna sit here and be like, "Oh no, don't go. Let us sign you for exorbitant amount of money." So this kind of hurts him in the long run. And Aaron, this is true in Hollywood as much as it's true in the professional wrestling world. These people who make their living breaking scoops, I know they need to break scoops and they need to make their money, but they do affect sometimes the livelihoods of these wrestlers or actors or directors or performers, because those scoops you break can affect negotiating tactics or negotiating positions and leverage overall. And that's why you'll see someone respond very angrily on social media and things like this.
It's very astute, sir. Very astute. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Ricochet go to AEW as much as the next guy. I would love to see him and Pac go at it. Grimosh says, Ricochet versus Pac. Exactly. That's like the match that I would want to see the most. But I really do think there is a little bit of credence to the pandemic thing, because you don't have like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is great, when you have a crowd, when the kids can see Rey Mysterio doing some cool shit, and they can get involved. And Rey Mysterio is good for the kids. Ricochet kind of the same way, good for the kids. Like the adults like him because he can wrestle and he can put on a great match. The kids like him because they're like, ooh, he's a superhero. But like you said, the mic skills, you got to be good on the stick, man. Like that's what makes a full rounded champion. And I just don't know if the WWE is not going to support Ricochet and at least let him go back to NXT. I mean, it's done wonders for Finn Balor. He could be one of those guys that goes back to NXT and revamps himself and then comes back and is, better than ever, or he can just stay in NXT. Either way, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, where are we at? Where we move on? I don't think I have any more Streamlabs or Super Chats right now. So where are we going on to next here, Aaron?
Now we're talking about AEW. Sting saved Darby Allin this week, which really headlined a big night for AEW Dynamite as it crushed NXT in the ratings. Dynamite drew 762,000, while NXT did 551,000. That is the second lowest since NXT went live.
Wow.
So Dynamite lately, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I was such a naysayer of Dynamite for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been pretty damn good lately, man.
Yeah.
Like it has been really something. Like you've got the Kenny Omega stuff has been really great. John Moxley getting in there. The Sting and Darby stuff has been really good. And then you've got them actually finally, it looks like, taking their women's division seriously with Shida, with Thunder Rosa, with Britt Baker, with Jade Cargill, who's now in there. So it looks like they're finally starting to kind of get their feet on the ground and get running. But my question becomes, if this is a thing for NXT, like if this continues to happen, that NXT loses, not necessarily, like if they lose the ratings here and there a little bit, no big deal. But if they start getting crushed in the ratings, is NXT going to move to a different night? And should it move to a different night or just consistently get crushed by AEW?
Yeah, but hasn't NXT been beating them for quite some time?
No,
it's been AEW all the time.
It's been pretty much AEW.
Wow.
I would say probably about 80% of the time AEW is winning.
Wow. That's a tough situation. And then you got to wonder, you're right. You got to wonder how long the WWE will keep NXT on there, because I mean, the whole reason you put NXT on main television is to go toe to toe with AEW and undercut them a little bit. And if you're not undercutting them and they're consistently winning, then we're back to what they used to call the Monday Night Wars back in the 90s, just in a smaller version. So AEW, if they're doing their thing and they're handling their business, I don't know if you're NXT why you don't move it off, because the whole reason you sell Finn Balor on going back down there, you sell Ember Moon on going back down there, is you're going to get TV exposure. But if you're getting TV exposure on a program that's losing out to the other wrestling program and the WWE is on your moniker, on your logo, then I think that's a negative situation for you as a brand name, as a branded wrestler. That's a negative situation for you. And maybe you don't want to go down to NXT at that point, for sure. Even though you probably get better matches and better storylines, you're not getting as much of the eyes on you as you would on the other bigger shows on Raw or SmackDown. So to me, it doesn't have any benefit overall. So I agree with you. I think it's time. If it's over a year consistently, they're way ahead of them in terms of, like you said, 80 to 20%. It's time to move to a new night. Why not? I mean, what do you got to lose? Try it out. Thursday night, Friday night. What do you got to lose? I'm sorry. Thursday night. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, I mean, there's wrestling on pretty much every day of the week. Why do we have to stick two programs on the same night? That just makes it hard for me to watch it, and I don't like that. But
absolutely,
I just hope that Dynamite can start to challenge NXT, because NXT is kind of lately, except for their big shows, when they did like New Year's Evil, they did Halloween Havoc, they kind of blow their wad on those shows. Right. But then like the week-to-week shows just haven't been great. Like, NXT every week used to be like must-see television. Like, I've got to watch this. It's going to be some crazy match. I got to see this. Right. And their stars just haven't been putting the focus on him. Yes, Finn Balor, but he's been hurt because he got hurt again in the Kyle O'Reilly match. Yeah. So he's not around right now. And then you have the Undisputed Era, who's kind of in a weird spot. They're doing the Dusty Rhodes Classic right now, the tag team tournament. So it's kind of a weird, there's a lot of tag matches, which aren't the most exciting. So it's a little bit weird in NXT right now. I'm just hoping that if Dynamite can go in there and challenge NXT, that NXT will finally get that spark again and just be better. That's all you got to be, is be better. And if not, I mean, let's move to Thursday. Let's move to Tuesday. Let's do something, because this isn't working.
You might think I'm sounding the alarms too early here, but if Raw is having trouble and NXT is having trouble, and the only thing that's lighting the way is SmackDown, 2 out of 3 not doing well is not a good thing for your brand, Aaron. So you wonder what are the changes they're going to make here. I think Raw's been picking it up, that Legends Night got 2 million views or whatever. And then the night after the next Monday, they had just a little bit of a come down, but don't be surprised if it starts dropping down again. And then what are you going to do if 2 of your shows are underperforming in their time slots? What are the steps you take at this point? And is Triple H in charge of NXT right now, or is it Vince?
That's what they say. That's what they say. Triple H is in charge of it, but I don't know.
He was the golden boy for such a long time at NXT, but now he's up. Now that it's up against AEW and he hasn't been able to come through, Vince can't feel confident handing him over the main brand in Raw or SmackDown if he can't get it done with NXT against AEW, who he probably sees as at the same level as NXT, even though it's the premier show of AEW.
Well, Zeno Hour did make a good point. He said, the impeachment vote did dominate both shows. He's right about that. There is a lot going on in this country, and it definitely will be affected next week because that'll be Joe Biden's inauguration. Yeah. So probably have low ratings again. But I wasn't really talking about that. I don't even really like to talk about ratings in general, but it threw me for a loop because I watched Dynamite. Like I record NXT and I was watching Dynamite, and I just can't believe, wow, this show is completely different than it was not 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I was like, this is stupid. Like, I don't know how people watch this from week to week. And now it's like, okay, they have deep engrossing storylines. Those storylines that they wanted to tell for so long, that took took a short time. They started in the short term, and now they've taken so long to build. They've actually built good storylines with good quality talent and are letting them be themselves, and it's working for them. And I think that AEW wanted to be so rogue in the beginning, like we got to be different than WWE, we got to do all this stuff, and then they figured it out that the basics of wrestling is good storytelling, and that's what Dynamite has right now, is good storytelling, as opposed to not only good matches, they've got good storytelling to go with it, and that'll beat any wrestling show any day of the week. I don't care what it is, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, it's going to be a better quality show all around.
Yeah, agreed. Josh Mabry says, thoughts on Orange Cassidy being voted most popular wrestler by Pro Wrestling Illustrated? Aaron?
I'm not a fan of Orange Cassidy. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not surprised that he did. He's over like Rover. Mm-hmm. I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't John Moxley because of how good he's been this year. But yeah, Orange Cassidy, there are people out there that love him, and I get it, but I don't. So that's my stance on it. That's all I got to say.
Yep, that's fair. I'm not familiar enough with Orange Cassidy to care one way or the other in terms of popularity. I know he's over, like you said, but I haven't been that impressed with him, to be honest with you, in some of his matches. But I know they're trying to push him, and that's just a personal thing, subjective nature of wrestling. There have been plenty of wrestlers they've tried to push in WWE that hasn't really clicked with me. They've clicked with other people. Cena, I've never enjoyed, maybe twice in my entire life have I enjoyed a Cena match, but people push him and they love him. I can't take away the fact that he's one of the most popular wrestlers, though. So Orange Cassidy may be that. I just have never been really that impressed with any of his matches overall. So yeah, I kind of am in the same boat with Aaron Turner on that one. So all right, let's see. What else we got? We got one more thing to talk about here, Aaron.
Yeah, we got one more thing to talk about, and it is one of our favorite things to talk about, and that is Dark Side of the Ring season 3. We got a little bit more info. I know we talked about it a few weeks ago. We didn't really have much to go on, but now we have a little bit more. A little tidbit this week dropped that none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin will appear on the season 3 premiere, which will chronicle the life and times of Brian Pillman. There is no set release date for season 3, but the topics so far are Brian Pillman, Nick Gage, XPW, the WCW New Japan Collision in Korea event, and the family of Grizzly Smith, which of course includes Jake the Snake Roberts, his brother Sam Houston, and their sister Rockin' Robin. If you remember those, of course, Rockin' Robin and Sam Houston from the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. So Dark Side of the Ring season 3 is going to kick off with a bang with Brian Pillman. What do you think about them bringing in Stone Cold Steve Austin to talk about his good friend Brian Pillman?
I mean, that is so surprising to me because I don't know what the particulars are of Stone Cold's contract with the WWE. Obviously,
Right.
doing those podcast episodes, the Broken Skull episodes. By the way, I need to listen to that Bailey one. I got to listen to that Bailey one he just did. So I can't wait to listen to that one. But like he's done. So I don't know, because we've both been surprised watching season 2 how much access they have to WWE footage. I mean, they are so stringent about who gets access to that footage and who doesn't. So the fact that they're letting, because I mean, Jim Ross and other people, like those are people out of contract with the WWE. The fact that Stone Cold has been given permission to go on there and talk about Brian Pillman is kind of shocking to me. And maybe the WWE in a certain way has a bit of a connection with this program, even though they did a pretty damning portrayal of Jimmy Snuka in that episode last season. So it's just kind of surprising to me. I don't know who these guys know. I don't know who they're friends with the WWE, but they're able to get access to things that most people do not have access to, Aaron. So you got to give them props on that end. That being said, all that being said as well, for that, let me move on to the Pillman thing. I'm so excited about this, man. I loved Brian Pillman. I enjoyed the fact that he was so unpredictable. He was an X factor in everything he did. So for me, it's incredibly exciting to have Brian Pillman be involved, be someone that they profile. Sad ending to him, 35 years old when he passed, Aaron. That is heartbreaking. His son, I've lived long enough to see Brian Pillman come in, succeed, pass away, and his son now doing it. It's just crazy to think about all of that and how it's all come to be. And so I'm excited to see that. And these other topics, these are that they're going to tackle. I don't know too much about XPW, so I'm excited for that. The WCW NJPW collision, that is a legend, dude. So I can't wait to see what they do with that. And of course, the Smith family and the tragedies involved with the Smith family as well. So a lot to explore there. But God damn it, where's the China episode? Where is the China episode, Aaron?
It could be, dude.
Yeah.
It could be this season. Like, this is the biggest season order they've had. This will have the most episodes. I think it's either 12 or 16 episodes that they're going to have of Dark Side of the Ring this season. I mean, it's Vice's like top rated show.
Yeah,
and they've got some good stuff on there. So they must really like Dark Side of the Ring. We love it. And who was it that said in the chat? So I think it was Ramash that said, so reviews for Dark Side of the Ring will come back to Strong Style. Yeah, you bet your ass they will. We're going to review every single daggone episode there is.
1000%.
Because we love it. We're big fans of it. Brian Pillman, I hope it's a two-parter. Like the Benoit episode was a two-parter. Yeah. I hope the Brian Pillman one is too. I'm interested to see who they get as a narrator for this season, because last year it was Chris Jericho. He was good. And the year before that, the season before that, it was Dutch Mantel. Yeah. So I'd like to see who they get. Maybe Mick Foley. Even though I know he's been battling COVID too. We didn't really talk about that. Mick Foley has been really having a hard time with COVID. Mm-hmm. But maybe they'll get him. Yeah. And I can't wait to see this stuff. Nick Gage is a really interesting one because he's a modern guy. Like, his career is not over. He's kind of like the modern day New Jack, but a little bit crazier, if that's even possible. So it'll be cool to see what they do with that. But anytime we talk about Dark Side of the Ring, I get hyped because especially last season was just so well done. Loved it so much. And I love talking about it with you because we just love these documentary style things. And I cannot wait for it to come back. Zeno Hour asked if Brian Pillman Jr. is involved in the episode. Not that I've read so far, but I'm sure there's no reason that he wouldn't be. Right. He talks about his dad all the time. It's not like they were ever estranged or anything like that I know of. So he'll probably show up in it, I imagine. But to hear about Brian Pillman's exploits in WCW, ECW, and the WWE will be probably one of my most anticipated episodes. Yeah.
I mean, hearing stories from Stone Cold Steve Austin about the Hollywood Blondes, that's going to be a lot of fun, dude, for sure. I don't know if you mentioned this, but the Dynamite Kid is also one of the subjects from what I'm seeing here from whatculture.com. I don't know how much What Culture actually knows, but I'm looking at here, and that's one of the other topics they've listed. So the Dynamite Kid, that'll be fun as well to explore. But no mentions yet of Brian Pillman's son being involved in this at all. So either way, it's just going to be exciting. 14 episodes, Aaron.
14. Okay.
Yeah, going to be more content for us on here. That's for damn sure. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. All right, let me see if there's any more Streamlabs Super Chats before we wrap up here. I got to get over to the Schmodown Awards. Let's see. Yes, John Doe says, do you think AEW and NJPW actually have a partnership, but because of the pandemic and travel restrictions, they have not made it public? Aaron.
Well, it's something that Tony Khan has talked about very, very hush-hushly. Mm-hmm. And anytime you ask him about a relationship with another company, he kind of shies away from it. I don't think they have anything with New Japan yet. I think that it could come down the road. I want to see what they do with Impact first and see if that impacts Impact, okay, in any sort of positive way before they probably want to see how that works out before they do anything with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because New Japan doesn't need AEW,
right?
And they're fine on their own. They have their own network. They have a massive following. What do they need AEW for? You know, AEW needs them more than the other. Do they want to extend their brand across the pond? Yeah, probably, but I don't think it's something that they're going to risk, you know, working with another company and expose themselves to possibly losing stars to AEW as well. I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, and I mean, I've said that that was one of the predictions I think I said when we had I think Ryan Satin on. I said AEW and NJPW may combine together to do a match through Kenny Omega. So we shall see for sure. All right, and I think that's it for us in terms of Streamlabs and Super Chats. Thank you all so much. Aaron, you sent me something. Should I open it here? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
open it on camera. You know, yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
I talk a lot about wrestling figures and stuff like that and collections that you need to start. So John Rocha, you need to start a damn collection. And so I got you your first wrestling figure. I don't know if it is or not. So that might be your first wrestling figure. Enjoy it and display it, my friend. You will enjoy it.
All right.
So
you know, he's one of these kind souls, Aaron is, who gives a gift on his birthday weekend. So very kind of you, Aaron.
it was a Christmas gift, but with the fucking post office, just like, just forget it. My mother
sent me a package on December 19th. It is yet to arrive. It's insane, the post office. All right, we've got ourselves a cute little package here.
Pink bubble, man.
Pink package. Yeah, pink. All right, let's see what we got.
You, sir, have the Storm Collectibles Hollywood Hulk Hogan action figure, complete with NWO t-shirt, massive amounts of articulation. He's got the headband, comes with the glasses and the feather boa.
Oh my God.
So there you go, man. There's your first wrestling collectible. It had to be the man, the myth, the legend, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Got a little figure standing there so you can stand him up. And then you got be careful with that because it's got his glasses in it, but you could put his feather boa on him and he can do his pose downs. So you got to love the Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Storm Collectibles, not the ultimate edition that's out from Mattel. This is Storm Collectibles. This is much more expensive, believe me.
Wow, dude, you're very, very kind. Oh my God.
There you go. Got the feather boa brother rocking it. There you go.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Merry Christmas. A little token of my appreciation for you, and we'll call it an anniversary gift. How about a year on the channel? You got your first wrestling figure right there.
Look at that. He's got
there. He is.
Awesome, dude. Dude, you're more than kind, Aaron. Thanks so much. I will display this proudly. Oh, even the boots are flaming like the Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Massive articulation if you're into that kind of thing. So, yeah, enjoy it, dude.
Thank you so much, man. That's very kind of you.
You're welcome.
All right. I'll have to send you something now, even more so.
Yes.
Than I was going to, and I will have to send. I don't see the stand, so I don't know. Is it in the front?
It's clear. It's clear, so it's kind of hard to see. It may still be in the package somewhere.
Okay, I'll take. Oh, here it is. Yeah, got it. You're right. It is clear. So I will absolutely put this up on my mantle here for sure. All right, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, brother. It's too sweet. Thank you so much. Indeed. All right. There you go. Well, let's wrap up there before I get all misty-eyed and emotional. Thank you very much, Aaron. It's been an honor doing the show with you, brother. Thanks for taking a chance to jump into the Strong Style show with me, and we've had such a great time doing it, in my opinion. And I look forward to doing it for another year and many years to come as it grows and grows and grows, brother.
Hell yeah, dude. We're just getting started. We haven't even scratched the surface of the show.
What you gonna do when Strong Style runs wild on you? All right. Any last words? Where can they find you, my man?
Wear a mask, wash your hands, take care of your gut health. Find me on Twitter @OnlyAaronTurner, and I will see you next week. Bam.
There you go. All right. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel, #1, if you haven't subscribed yet. But like this video, leave a comment. A lot of you watch after we've done this live. So please leave a comment. Comments and likes elevate the visibility of the video, and also share this on your social media for all your other friends who love pro wrestling to get involved and come be a part of the Strong Styles crew 1,000%. And also for those of you who are a little bit out of the realm of professional wrestling into WandaVision or Marvel, tomorrow I will be doing a review of WandaVision for the Geek Buddies. The Geek Buddies will get together, and Emma Fife will be our special guest. So we'll be doing a review of the first 2 episodes of WandaVision tomorrow. So look for that on the channel as well. And tomorrow morning, speaking of Hulk Hogan, speaking of Sylvester Stallone, speaking of Rocky 3, I got Frank Stallone sits down with me for an hour. I'm dropping the episode tomorrow morning for the deep cut. Frank Stallone for an hour hanging out with me, talking about his life as a Stallone, his new documentary, and how he kind of went toe-to-toe with the Bee Gees. So a lot of stuff that was talked about that's very interesting with him, and his relationship with Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. All of that covered by Frank Stallone in the documentary.
What about his relationship with Bob Finstock?
I know. I should have brought that up. But I dropped the ball there. All right. Thanks to Aaron Turner, and thanks to everybody who sent in Streamlabs Super Chats. We appreciate it madly. Take care of yourselves. As Aaron said, practice social distancing, wear your mask, and we'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of Strong Style.